Have you ever watched the quietest man in the room and wondered what fuels his unshakable confidence? Imagine possessing an inner fortress so impenetrable that no criticism, no obstacle, no emotional whirlwind can touch you. Picture yourself moving through life with razor-sharp clarity, turning every setback into your secret weapon. What if I told you these aren't superhuman fantasies but habits you can adopt right now? Welcome to Sigma Male Community, where we break down the code of the lone wolf, forge independence into an art form, and master the stoic mindset that separates the rare from the routine. 1. The Solitude Fortress. Sigmas don't view solitude as a void, they treat it as a strategic command center. In the silence, ideas clarify, unfiltered by external noise or the need for approval. When the world's cacophony drowns out your thoughts, retreat into your own mind and watch strategies emerge with surgical precision. This habit demands discipline. You must purposefully carve out time away from screens, conversations, and social obligations. During these retreats, take up practices like mindful journaling or contemplative walks. Stoic sages like Marcus Aurelius retreated to the inner citadel of their thoughts. Sigmas do the same, weaponizing silence. Within the Solitude Fortress, you confront raw truth, your fears, your ambitions, your untamed potential. It's not comfortable, it's catalytic. Here, the raw material of your psyche is kneaded into steel-hard resolve. Isolation trains you to depend only on your own faculties. While others panic at the absence of a crowd, you maintain composure, knowing your center doesn't shift with outside forces. In this way, solitude becomes less a retreat and more a launchpad for action. Your fortress isn't built in a day. It takes daily practice, silent mornings, solo challenges, and resolute self-reflection. Each session in isolation deepens your independence, layer by layer, until external validation loses its grip on your psyche. By mastering the Solitude Fortress, you no longer fear being alone, you thrive in it. Common men exhaust themselves seeking connection. Sigmas reserve their energy for purposeful ascents. 2. Emotional Aikido. When life hurls chaos your way, common men react. They explode, they brood, they lose control. Sigmas practice emotional Aikido. They redirect emotional energy into strategic action. Just as a martial artist uses an opponent's force against them, you learn to transform anger, fear, and doubt into rational calculation. The key lies in the prefrontal cortex, the seat of reason, overpowering the amygdala's primal impulses. When you feel the first spike of tension, pause and breathe. Recognize the feeling as data, not destiny. Stoics advised viewing emotions as impressions, separate from your will. Next, dissect the trigger. Is your frustration rooted in ego, unmet expectation, or misplaced attachment? By identifying the true source, you prevent reactive outbursts that sabotage goals. Instead, you channel cortisol into cold, measured decisions. Emotional Aikido isn't suppression, it's alchemy. You don't bury anger, you transmute it. That heat fuels deep work sessions, rigorous training, and uncompromising focus on highest leverage tasks. What might have been wasted fury becomes concentrated energy. As this habit solidifies, others start to notice your uncanny calm under fire. Negotiations, crises, personal setbacks, they all become opportunities to demonstrate quiet mastery. Where common men falter, you navigate with the stoic composure of a seasoned general. Ultimately, emotional Aikido frees you from the tyranny of mood swings. Your emotions serve you like loyal soldiers, obeying the commands of your disciplined mind rather than leading you like a runaway horse. 3. Invisible Mastery. While the masses chase likes, followers, and fleeting applause, Sigmas retreat into the shadows, honing skills that compound over time. You trade immediate validation for deep competence in areas that matter, whether it's fluent languages, advanced coding, or ironclad physical conditioning. This is not about showing off, it's about self-actualization. Each early morning workout, every hour spent dissecting a classic text, and all those silent practice sessions deposit value you'll wield when it counts. Stoicism reminds us that virtue is its own reward. Your mastery needs no audience. The invisible mastery habit requires consistent, solitary effort. Block off distraction-free windows where you can immerse yourself fully. Track progress meticulously so you know, beyond doubt, that every session moves you forward. Over time, your hidden expertise becomes a silent statement. You don't broadcast your capabilities, they reveal themselves through your results. A single demonstration of skill, effortless, unexpected, carries more weight than 1,000 boasts. As your proficiency grows, so does your internal confidence. You no longer rely on external props to feel capable. That security in your own abilities is the ultimate Sigma signature. Quiet, unshakable, and impossible to replicate with superficial tactics. 4. Boundary armor. A Sigma's no is more powerful than any yes. You erect invisible yet impenetrable walls that protect your time, energy, and sanity. When manipulative requests or energy-draining dramas arise, you repel them without apology. Stoics teach that your will is sovereign, so you treat your inner domain as inviolable. Building boundary armor means identifying what you will not tolerate: gossip, low-value commitments, and emotional blackmail. Once defined, enforce these limits ruthlessly. Practice brief, firm refusals that give no room for negotiation. Some mistake boundaries for coldness. In reality, you're preserving your strategic resources. Like a fortress with unscalable walls, you invite only what serves your mission and deflect everything else back to sender. At first, people will test your resolve. They'll return, press harder, or attempt guilt. Stand firm. Over time, your reputation shifts from easy target to impenetrable bastion. Genuine respect follows when others see you won't be swayed. Your priorities remain crystal clear: growth, solitude, mastery. Everything else is secondary. This clarity of purpose elevates your actions. Every no frees up bandwidth for your next calculated move. Boundary armor transforms your interactions. You're no longer a passive participant in other people's agendas but the architect of your own life, constructing it moment by moment with deliberate choices. 5. Status immunity. While the herd races for the next status symbol, you quietly defy their script. Designer logos and flashy toys hold no sway over a Sigma because your identity is self-anchored, not society-leased. You understand that external markers rust and fade. True status is internal and permanent. This immunity doesn't come naturally, it's forged by consistent practice. Whenever you feel the pull toward validation, configuring your space to impress, tweaking your wardrobe for likes, pause. Ask, am I doing this for me or for them? Then choose autonomy. Stoicism teaches that true wealth lies in desire under control. By mastering your wants, possessions become tools, not trophies. That faded hoodie on your back? It's a badge of purposeful simplicity, a silent middle finger to the culture of conspicuous consumption. Your detachment from status grants freedom. You don't budget for ego-fuel purchases. You budget for experiences that fortify independence. Travel, education, physical challenges. Each investment compounds in capability rather than flash. As you internalize this habit, you inspire curiosity rather than envy. People wonder how you stay so unfazed by social pressure. The answer lies in your unwavering self-worth, cultivated through disciplined inner work. Status immunity completes the Sigma trifecta. You build competence in solitude, control emotions like a strategist, and resist societal scripts. In the void left by cravings, you find true sovereignty. 6. Precision strikes. Alphas trumpet their intentions. Sigmas deliver results in silence. Before announcing a plan, you map every variable, resources, timing, fallback options, until the path to victory is airtight. Every move is calculated, every action surgically precise. You train your mind to view goals as endgames, not social media soundbites. As the Stoics taught, focus on what's within your control. The minute details of execution are yours to master. You minimize wasted effort by rehearsing outcomes mentally before lifting a finger. In practice, this means zero deadline slip-ups, zero public failures. You advance under the radar, then strike with disproportionate impact. Your achievements speak volumes long after the echo of empty boasts has faded. Pressure test your systems. When stakes soar, you retreat inward, visualize success, anticipate setbacks, and refine tactics. This disciplined rehearsal phase turns anxiety into confidence, fueling decisive action. By keeping your objectives confidential until the final push, you protect your dopamine circuits. Publicizing goals too soon floods you with premature reward, sapping momentum. Sigmas hoard that energy, releasing it only when results demand celebration. Precision strikes sharpen your reputation. You become known as a quiet operator whose success arrives without trumpets or parades. Others chase headlines, you engineer legacies. 7. The Silence Doctrine. Words carry weight, Overly used, they lose potency. Sigmas speak sparingly, reserving each utterance for maximum effect. In conversation, you listen twice as much as you talk, gathering intelligence before weighing in. A well-placed comment can pivot negotiations, expose vulnerabilities, or plant ideas in others' minds. You practice purposeful brevity. Stoics believed in the power of succinct speech to convey virtue and wisdom without fanfare. Silence also buys you time. When confronted by provocations, you sit with your emotions instead of snapping back. That pause unsettles detractors, turning their own impatience into a liability. You cultivate a poker face, letting your internal processes remain hidden while others wear their intentions on their sleeves. Every word you withhold is a data point they can't use against you. In solitude, rehearse concise responses to common triggers. This mental library of phrases ensures that, under pressure, you don't resort to filler or emotional venting. Your calm, deliberate language then becomes an instrument of authority. Ultimately, the Silence Doctrine elevates your presence. In a world of noise and oversharing, your quiet voice resonates like a bass note in a symphony, unforgettable and impossible to ignore. Shadow work. True mastery begins where light fades, within the shadows of your psyche. Sigmas confront their darkest tendencies: fear, shame, regret. By shining reason's torch on hidden wounds, you transform them into raw material for growth. This process is neither glamorous nor comfortable. Like a miner tunneling deep, you excavate painful memories and limiting beliefs. Stoicism counsels that what is within can be overcome through disciplined reflection and reappraisal. Journaling becomes your scaffold. Raw honesty on the page reveals patterns you'd otherwise deny. Each acknowledgement of a weakness is a victory in itself, because awareness precedes transformation. Once identified, traumas and biases morph into tools. You repurpose anger into motivation, self-doubt into meticulous planning. The very demons you faced in the dark become engines of progress. Shadow work demands consistency. Weekly sessions of introspection and targeted self-inquiry prevent old patterns from resurfacing. Over time, you cultivate psychological titanium, unyielding and resilient. By embracing the abyss rather than fleeing it, you emerge stronger, more self-possessed. Common men distract themselves from discomfort. Sigmas dive deep and surface forged anew. 9. Anti-Tribalism. Human nature craves belonging, yet Sigmas recognize the cage in every pack. You observe social groups from the periphery, participating on your terms without surrendering autonomy. This is Stoic detachment applied to community. You resist labeling yourself by affiliations, political, corporate, or cultural. Instead, you align with principles, self-mastery, rationality, and purpose. These transcendent values guide your alliances, not the whims of the crowd. In gatherings, you orbit conversations rather than orbiters. You contribute insights but never adopt the group's emotional climate wholesale. When peer pressure surges, you hold the line, embodying your own moral compass. This stance can feel lonely at first as you reject the safety of consensus. Yet over time, selective relationships form, fellow independents who respect your space and integrity. You build fluid networks instead of rigid clans. Anti-tribalism also shields you from mass hysteria. When social media erupts in outrage, you maintain perspective, weighing facts before forming judgments. This rational immunity keeps you above the fray. By refusing to be caged by any tribe's narratives, you attain ultimate freedom, the liberty to think, act, and evolve unfettered by collective expectations. 10. Detached Dominance. Control your emotions so they don't control you. Sigmas command their inner state like a seasoned surgeon wields a scalpel, precise, emotionless, and utterly effective. You become an apex predator of calm and chaotic environments. Detached dominance is not apathy. It's strategic equanimity. You feel the world's currents yet refuse to be swept away. When setbacks occur, you treat them as experiments, not catastrophes. Each failure yields data for your next hypothesis. In negotiations, you project unflappable confidence. Adversaries sense your unshakable core and start to yield ground. Dominance achieved without aggression. Stoic philosophers admired this posture. Conquer your passions, conquer your world. Physical training amplifies this habit. Controlled breathing under load, cold showers, intermittent fasting, all teach your nervous system to operate in stress without panic. Over time, your baseline shifts. High stress equals normal. This mastery seeps into daily life. Traffic jams become moments for cold reflection. Social drama becomes a distant echo. You stand apart, unmoved by the tides, directing your life with surgical calm. Detached dominance crowns you a strategic commander of your domain. Every decision made from a place of clarity, every action executed with impervious resolve. 11. Rejection as fuel. Every no you receive is a spark, not a wound. Sigmas transform exclusion into acceleration, letting closed doors propel them toward alternative, often superior, paths. This mindset shifts scarcity into abundance. When opportunities slip away or peers doubt you, you don't retreat, you double down. You analyze the rejection. Was it skill, timing, or perception? Then you refine your approach, converting loss into data for evolution. Stoics admired obstacles. They believed impediments sharpened virtue. You internalize this by celebrating rejections as unambiguous feedback. Each one zeroes in on what still needs mastery. Rejection also crystallizes your purpose. When a community won't accept you, you clarify your values and who you truly serve, yourself and your ambitions, not fleeting popularity. This self-alignment fuels an inner autonomy no criticism can penetrate. As you rack up rejections, you build psychological calluses. What once stung now slides off. You become unstoppable. Every setback a launch pad, every closed door a redirection toward greater terrain. By embracing rejection as fuel, you rewrite the narrative. Exclusion is no longer a barrier but the jet stream beneath your wings, carrying you higher on the currents of relentless self-reinvention. You've just walked through the habits that transform ordinary men into solitary legends. Each practice a furnace where raw potential becomes forged will. Few will ever dare adopt these disciplines, but for those who do, life flips from controlled chaos to deliberate conquest. Remember, Sigmas aren't born. They're built in the fires of relentless self-evolution. If you're ready to shatter conformity, forge an unbreakable mindset, and join the ranks of the silent few, hit that like button, share your insights in the comments, and subscribe for more hard-hitting wisdom from Sigma Male community. Turn on notifications so you never miss a strategy that could redefine your destiny. Stay sharp, stay sovereign, and I'll see you in the next video.